Hey there, hello, there's Chef Cutter Diamond welcoming you to yet another stream. This time I'm doing the stream for the 350 subscribers and all that. So I've surprised myself by getting to 350 subscribers for Cutter Historical, doing all these things like sports streams, out of the PC games like Out of Park Baseball, PC We Play Basketball, Second and 10 Football, and of course Stone Cold Hockey. And soon I will actually be getting my hands on Dice United. It's another soccer game for the PC, but it's actually faster. It's like the dice game, like Stone Cold Hockey. If you watch that stuff on my channel, you'll see the dices and all that. I know I don't explain the dice thingies and all that, and I just go, 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 quick, quick, quick. But yeah, so I'm getting that. Um, so yeah, getting some Snoopy books. Like I found a love for Snoopy and Peanuts all over again. So like one of the free comic books I got was I see it right there. Because Saturday was free comic book day, and I rushed from my house to downtown Kitchener to the comic book store looking for heroes. So, looking for heroes, if you see that. But yeah, the Snoopy Beagle Scout Adventures. Like you were allowed four of these. I got Beagle Scout Adventures, Star Wars, Popeye, and Street Fighter versus Final Fight. So yeah, like these are cool in comic books and all that. I I looked at this and I look at these and then I'm like, these look cool. So I look at the that stuff and the bracketology and all that. Bracketology. So I ordered those books and we'll be reading them and having fun with them. But anyway, I know nobody's watching me live, so yeah. So I'll get to the trivia stuff in a few minutes, but yeah, a lot of things have happened. I can't remember. Was it last stream? I think it was last stream. I said that I had my intercostal muscle problems. But it has healed a little bit. It still bogs me when I go onto my bed for the first time. Like I lay down on my bed, like I can feel it on my left side. I can't sleep on my left side. I can either sleep on my back or my right hand side. I know some people say that, well, that's bad. I do manage to sleep well with my right hand side. But yeah, that pain, like it's not like a super pain, it's just aggravating. That's all more to it. And I still know I have to let it rest for a few more weeks, I hope. So yeah, I went to Free Comic Book Day on Saturday, but also last Saturday was a big event for me. It was the poker players thing. If you watched my channel and the poker players KW thing, is that we had the 16-person in live tournament at the Malton Barley, just down the road from me, and 16 people. And out of 16 people, I started 10th. You'd probably be thinking, how good were you? Well, would you be shocked if I let you know that somehow, some way, the poker gods gave me third place? I kid you not. I took third place. I was in position to get eighth, position to get seventh, sixth, fifth, then fourth, and people were just dying off, if you will, in poker terms. I don't know what it means. But yeah, like everyone was shocked. I shocked myself being in third place. And I was like shocked because of the fact that my moral support, that being my big bro, Ed, actually had to deal with his kids' hockey tournament in Scarborough. I mean, all of our power to him. I mean, my nephew is a good hockey player. But like, I would have loved to do it. But maybe the poker gods were saying, you don't need your brother around. So basically, what happened is that, well, I took third. Like, I still have to get everything set in stone and make another poker players video and probably put it out this weekend. So yeah, I did that. Of course, I took third place at poker and it was like, woo, baby. But then it's like everything just went crashing down. Crunch. Well, reason being, because of this team. That's right. The freaking Toronto Maple Leafs lost again in a game 7 to Boston, this time in overtime on what was called a fluky play. And people think that it was icy because the guy shot the puck from behind the red line. I don't think so. I think it was just purposely put off the boards, and then the Leafs defenders didn't react in time, and then basically Pastrnak scored on Ilya Samsonov, and it's over. So, like, a lot of people like to say Samsonov is a shitty goalie. No, it wasn't his fault. Not this time. It was our defense's fault, as almost always. So the Leafs, again, lose in the first round. So Boston played Florida last night, and Boston won game 1. I picked Boston in 6. I know people think I'm crazy, but I'm like, Boston has something to prove against Florida. They have to beat Florida because Florida was the team that screwed them over last year. So I'm like, Boston's going to get revenge. And historically, when the Red Wings got a 62-win season and a Lightning got 62 wins in the season, but they both fell short of the Stanley Cup final, they won the Stanley Cup the next year. The Red Wings won the Cup in 97, and Tampa won the Cup in 2020. Of course, it's COVID, but whatever. But yeah, they came back. And I'm like, my sources are telling me if it's not the New York Rangers, it's the Boston Bruins that will win the Stanley Cup. And they'll probably bump into each other in the conference final. But yeah, so yeah, Leaf fan. Can't say that I'm surprised. I'm a Leaf fan. I'm used to fucking disappointment. And I know you'll be like, why is your face like this? Well, because of it being so sunny and so nice and outside, at 4:00 in the afternoon doesn't help matters. I don't want to turn on my light and waste electricity and all that. And I know you'll be thinking, hang on, what's that? Well, that's my laptop. I actually am taping out of the park baseball later on after the stream. So, there's my laptop and all that. So anyway, yes, let's get going. Let's do this again. Let's do this again like we did last 2 weeks ago. Yeah, let's twist again. Twist the book of fate. Anyway, so I went through random.org and I did the sequence generator. And first is 3. So let's see. Have I done round 3? No, I have not. All right, so this will be the first trivia quiz I'm doing. Trophy names and history. All right. So let's go first. All right. So show you that. Why does my things like to do that? All right. So trophy names and history. Who was the Prince of Wales trophy named after? Prince of Wales trophy. Governor General? A former Governor General of Canada? Who is Clarence Campbell? A president of the NHL. NHL 1940. What was it? 46 to 77, I think it was. Yeah, 46 to 77. Okay, what year did the NHL introduce the President's Trophy? I think it was 1986. 1986, I think. Who votes for the winner of the Hart Memorial Trophy? The GMs. What is the factor that determines who wins the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy? Gentlemanly play. Probably spelled it wrong. Who votes on who wins the Vezina Trophy? I think it was the GMs. Shit, GMs. Well, I'll get one of them right. Who is the Calder Trophy named after? Frank Calder, first president of the NHL. Frank Calder. What NHL organization has won the most Art Ross trophies? I think Montreal has. What former NHL player has won the Norris Trophy 8 times? Bobby Orr. There's a funny quote that in 1967, when Harry Howell of the Rangers won the trophy, he said, this trophy will be renamed the Bobby Orr Trophy because no one's going to get that trophy off of him. And they were right. He won in the next 8 years. What goalie has won the Conn Smythe 3 times? My boy Roy, or Patrick Waugh, I should know, my idol. What unfortunate record does Bill Masterton hold? The only player, only on ice death in NHL history. That was just pure bad luck. What governing body votes for the winner of the Ted Lindsay Award? The players. I think the players vote for the Ted Lindsay Award because, the Ted Lindsay Award is the players' vote for MVP. It doesn't necessarily mean the Hart Trophy. To what member of the NHL organization is the Jack Adams Award awarded to? Coach. Who was Frank Selke? A builder. Builder for Habs. Builder GM for the Habs. He actually was in the Leafs organization, but got pissed off at Conn Smythe and left. What 2 former NHL goalies are tied with 5 each for Jennings trophies? Hasek, I know. Is it Hasek and Brodeur? Because those 2 goalies were just amazing. A lot of people would be thinking, did Hasek ever meet Brodeur in the playoff series? They did. Buffalo, New Jersey, 1994, in one of the greatest first-round matches of all time. 94 was famous for its first round. Game 7s and all that. But yeah, Hasek and Brodeur dueled each other in that 94 first round, which was huge. It had Dave Hannon hit that quadruple overtime goal, and the final score 1-0, but the Devils won Game 7. What is characteristic of a player that makes him eligible for consideration for the King Clancy Memorial Trophy? Humanitarian. I think it's humanitarian. I think it's humanitarian work. Yeah, humanitarian work, I think it is. What stat Mets players lead in to win the Rocket Richard Trophy? Goals. Austin Matthews has the record. Austin Matthews had won the Rocket Richard with 69. Nice, I think. Who awards the Mark Messier Leadership Award to the winner every season? GMs? And what year was the GM of the Year Award renamed and why? 2020? I don't know. Who is the EJ McGuire Award Excellence Award to? I think it's Scouts. Scout. EJ McGuire was a good scout. All right, so show you guys the front. Show you guys the front. Okay, so those are my responses. I know I'm probably not going to do so well. So here we go. Row 3. Okay, so here we go. Okay, round 3. The trophy, Prince Edward, Prince of Wales. Oh, Prince Edward. But not the Prince Edward that we know from, being the Queen's son, Prince Edward, who was a disappointment to the royal family because he wanted to work in TV and not in the military. Who's Clarence Campbell, the 3rd president of the NHL, best president from 46-77. What year was the President's Trophy? 85-86. So that's a yes. The Professional Hockey Raiders. So the Raiders are the ones for the Hart Trophy for MVP. Black. What's the factor? Sportsmanship. Gentlemanly play counts. Who votes for the Vezina? The GMs. The Calder Trophy was named for the first NHL president. The organization was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh? Not Montreal. No, like our Ross, Montreal, like for goal scoring, the point scoring. Art Ross trophies. Yeah, Montreal, right? Pittsburgh. I guess with Lemieux and Crosby and Yager. Okay. But former player, Bobby Orr, Patrick Waugh won 3 trophies. Bill Masterton is the only NHL player to die on the ice. So that's a check mark. The players, the NHLPA members, that are the players. The organization, the head coach, Frank Selke, former GM of the Leafs and Canadiens. Yep. What 2 former NHL goalies are tied for 5? Waugh and Brodeur. Oh, Waugh and Brodeur. Well, Hasek. Well, I thought Hasek would because Hasek's goes against what's characteristic of the leadership qualities on and off the ice and contribute to their communities. That's a fancy word for saying humanitarian work. What's Leaf Goals? Who awards the Mark Messier awards it. The GM thing was 2019, following the death of Jim Gregory. 2019. Well, that's wrong. And the Jim McGuire is the draft prospect. Draft prospect. Okay. So what does that mean? 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 13? 13. All right. So 13 out of 20. Not bad. 65%. So that's what happened. All right. So 13 out of 20. All right. So got that going. What's the next quiz? 40. Round 40. It's an NHL team, I think. The San Jose Sharks. So they want me to do some stuff about the San Jose Sharks. Okay. 10 questions about the San Jose Sharks. All right, then. Show you the 10 questions. Now, of course, I'm doing the Sharks, not the Penguins. So talk about the Sharks. So the San Jose Sharks story is weird because you can trace the San Jose story back to the Cleveland Barons or the Oakland Seals / California Golden Seals. So let me elaborate. So it's 1967, and the NHL decided to expand from 6 to 12 teams. They put 2 teams in California. Los Angeles gets 1, and another team in San Francisco, which became the California Golden Seals, and then went to the Oakland Seals when they moved the games to Oakland. And of course, Charlie Finley, the Oakland A's famous owner, actually was the owner of the Golden Seals for a while and wanted his players to play in white skates. Honestly. So anyway, the Seals were just crap on and off the ice. In fact, the Seals would have had the number 1 pick in the 1971 draft if it wasn't for a shrewd trade made by Sam Pollock of the Habs back in 1969, was it? It was a few years before. And California had no idea that their first-round pick in 1971 would be Guy Lafleur. So what happened was, for the Golden Seals, was that they finished worse, but they couldn't have the first-round pick. That went to Montreal. In fact, Montreal traded Ralph Backstrom to the Kings on purpose, I believe, to make sure that the Kings were better than the Seals in the standings so that Montreal gets the number 1 pick. So that's what happened. So Montreal had the number 1 pick and got Guy Lafleur. So the Seals sucked, and then after many bad payments, they moved to Cleveland. Cleveland had a very good AHL squad in the 1950s when the AHL was a threat to the NHL, if you will, and had Johnny Bower. But the fact of the matter was that Cleveland finally got an NHL team 20 plus years too late. But the fact of the matter was that they put the Barons in Richfield Coliseum. Nice arena. One problem, it was in the middle of freaking nowhere. It was like on the outskirts of Cleveland in Richfield, Ohio. It was like hard to get to and all that. It was like on an interstate or something. But then, the Barons sucked for a few years. And then they decided, the Gunn brothers, George and Gordon, one of them actually was legally blind, but had a great memory and would actually listen to meetings on tape at double speed. So the Gunn brothers, sold Cleveland off. They merged with the Minnesota North Stars. Like the NHL decided to merge those 2 teams, Cleveland and Minnesota. So they were merging all that. And then, they were the North Stars again. The Cleveland players went to Minnesota North Stars. And then the Gunn brothers had a big share of the North Stars, but wanted to move the team to San Francisco. So what happened was that the NHL's like, no way. But they made a deal that the Gunn brothers would sell off their portions to people, and that would be Norm Green in Minnesota, to keep the North Stars in Minnesota. And they would get an expansion team in San Francisco. Well, they called it the San Jose Sharks. And so in 1991, the Sharks were in the league. Before the first ever game, they actually really shot up in merchandise sales because of their Sharks logo, which was pretty cool back in the 1990s with teal. So yeah, so that's a story about the Sharks. Anyhow, so 10 questions about the Sharks. Okay. Who was the first Sharks player to score 50 goals in one season? The Choo Choo Train, Jonathan Choo. Who was the first player to win the Hart Trophy during a season in which he played for two different teams? Jumbo, Joe Thornton. It was weird. Boston was tired of him underperforming, so they traded him to San Jose, and he just blossomed in San Jose. Why was the line of Joe Pavelski, Kyle Wellwood, and Torrey Mitchell called the helicopter line? The defensive proudness? Something to do with defensive proudness? I don't know. What former Sharks goalie holds the record for most wins in one season? Most Sharks goalie. Not Kiprusoff. What is his name? Toskala? No. Nabokov, I think. I think it was Nabokov. I would say Toskala or Kiprusoff. Well, Kiprusoff was basically the third string goalie that was traded from San Jose to Calgary, and he blossomed in Calgary. Who was the Sharks' first captain in franchise history? Kelly Kissio, who they picked up from the Rangers. Who was the Sharks captain from 98 to 2003? Not only Nolan, he went to the Leafs. Marlowe? No. 98. Ray Witt? Oh, no. I don't know who the captain was. I don't know. Delpus? I don't know. It's not Marlowe. What year did the Sharks win their only President's Trophy? Good question. 2014, I think. Who did the Sharks lose to in their only Stanley Cup appearance? Pittsburgh. That was 2017. What current Shark was in 2 episodes of Vikings? Brett Burns. Where did Luka Couture play in juniors? Spokane? I don't know. I just don't know. So that's my answers. All right, so let's see here. Round 40. All right, so here we go. Sharks. The first guy was Jonathan Chichu. The Hart Trophy guy was Joe Thornton. The line was made up of centers and no wings. Helicopters don't have wings. What for goalie? It was Nabokov. Yay. Who's the first captain in history? Doug Wilson. Oh, Doug Wilson. Damn it. I thought it was Kissio. Doug Wilson. Yeah, now I know. I just learned that. I'm like, shit, that's right. I have his hockey card with the Sharks with that scene. Who was the Sharks captain? The captain was Olin Nolan. But that's impossible. Olin Nolan played for the 2002 Leafs. Damn it, I would have been right. What year did they win the President's Trophy? 2009. 2009, huh? Who did they lose to in the first thing? Pittsburgh. What current Shark in Vikings? Brett Burns. And where did Couture play his juniors? Ottawa. Fucking Ottawa. Well, that's 5 out of 10. That's 5 out of 10. I would have been 6 out of 10 if it wasn't for the stupid fact that, it was Olin Nolan. I thought it was Olin Nolan, but I was like, the Leafs picked up Olin Nolan in 2002. That's not. Okay, so next up is 27. I think it's another NHL team. It is the Wingdings. Wing ding 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 Red Wings. So we'll do a quiz about the Detroit Red Wings, another original 6 team. One of the best original 6 teams of all time. I mean, they've won the most Stanley Cups by a non-Canadian team. You got Montreal, then Toronto. Detroit's third in line. They're sneaking up on Toronto's mark of 13. So, yeah, Detroit Red Wings. As a Leaf fan, you know about the Leafs-Red Wings rivalry in the 1940s and 50s and 60s and all that. The rivalry is not really as big nowadays as it was even 10 years ago. I know that the Red Wings moved from the west to the east and all that, but there's still not a lot of animosity between Toronto and Detroit. When they were both in the Western Conference and both in the North Division in the 80s and 90s, then you have the rivalry and all that. I know that the Red Wings were down 3-1 in 1987 in the division finals or the conference semifinals nowadays. And all the Leafs needed to do was win one game, and they would go on to the conference finals. Probably get slaughtered by Edmonton, but still, it would have been nice. But yeah, Detroit came back from 3-1 down. And the funny thing is, before the Leafs choked that 3-1 series lead to the Habs in 2020, that was actually the last time the Leafs had a 3-1 series lead in any playoff. All that. I know the Leafs won playoff series up to Yin Yang between 1987 and 2010, well, in 2004. But they never were up 3-1. Usually it was like 3-2. It was like 2-2, and then they would win to make it 3-2, or be down 3-2 in a series and then win the next two. And in 93, the Leafs and Wings would meet the playoffs in one of the best playoff series around. Red Wings won the first two games on home ice. The Leafs won the next two at Maple Leaf Gardens. Game 5 turned on a goal by Mike Foligno doing that big jump and all that, and the Leafs thought they would win Game 6 on home ice. Nope, didn't. But Game 7, Borshevsky tipped in a Bob Brown shot, scored the goal, and sent the Leafs to the second round of the 93 playoffs. After that, they faced the Blues and beat them in 7 games, but lost to the Kings and Gretzky in 7. All right, so here we go. Yeah, I showed you the list. Okay, so here's what the Detroit questions are. First, what two names were the Red Wings known as before 1932? The Cougars and the Falcons. I think it was Falcons first, right? Or was it Cougars first? I think it was Cougars first. Who was the longest serving captain in Wings history? Geez, you really think I'm not going to know this one? It's Yzerman. Who were the Bruce brothers? Kosar and Probert. Known for their penalty minutes and their fights and all that. Between 1984 and 2016, how many times did the Red Wings make the playoffs? So they're asking 33 seasons. Well, 32 seasons, sorry. 29? What team did the Red Wings brawl with on Bloody Wednesday? St. Louis? I don't know. Who are the members of the Russian Five? Okay, so Fetisov, Konstantinov, Fedorov, Kozlov, Slava Kozlov, and who was it? Fetisov, Konstantinov, Fedorov, Kozlov. Was there another Russian defenseman? Or no? Who was the fifth one? Slava Kozlov. Oh, Larionov. Larionov. Igor Larionov. Whose number was retired in 2014? Was it Yzerman? Had to be. How many division championships have the Red Wings won? 21? I don't know. Where did the Red Wings play before the Jules Arena? The Olympia. That's right, Olympia. That's the original Six Arena. And who owned the Red Wings from 1982 to 2017? Mike Ilitch. So you see the answers? Well, on the left side. See the answers? All right, so let's take a look. 27, right? Okay, Red Wings, the Cougars and the Falcons. So yeah, Cougars for first. Yzerman, Kosar and Probert. Yep. Playoffs 32 times. Oh, so 32 out of 84 2016. That can't be right. They missed a few playoffs. They brawled with Colorado on Bloody Sunday. Oh, Bloody Wednesday was the fight in which Claude Lemieux came back to Detroit as a member of the Avalanche after that thing on Draper, and then they pummeled him and then won. Oh, it's good fun. The Russian Five were Fedorov, Konstantinov, Slava Kozlov, Slava Fetisov, and Igor Larionov. I think that's right. Whose number was retired? Lidstrom. Division titles, 19. They played at the Olympia, and yes, Mike Ilitch was the guy. So that's 6. So that was 6. So 6 out of 10 for the Red Wings. Not too shabby, but yeah, it looks shabby. Shabby dabby doo, shabby dabby doo, shabby dabby doo, shabby dabby doo. So yeah, I got 6. No, that's great. Bloody Wednesday. I didn't know that was what the name of the Avalanche one was. 41. Oh, 41. So I guess I have to do another trivia, another team, do I? Ah, the Kraken. Oh, great. This is going to be the one I'm going to fuck up on. This is going to be the one that's going to probably end the video. If I do too shitty, I'm going to probably end this stream. Yeah, the Seattle Kraken. Yikes. So I landed on 41. I have a funny feeling I'm probably going to. I think I'm probably going to get like 6. If I can get 6, I'll be happy. So the Seattle Kraken. I think that fate is declaring I do the Seattle Kraken because one of my favorite YouTubers and a friend of mine I've known on YouTube on Facebook since 2011. Is it? Yeah, 2011. Jason Lundgren is a Seattle native, and he was in the news first for his retro video games and all that, like the arcade games, and getting a lot of people to like him and all that. And so logically, Jason was on the news and all that for his love of arcade games and all that. And it was big for like 3-4 years for him. And then, he started doing these Facebook things and then started doing the YouTube stuff on like certain things in his life. But then he started, I think it was like a year ago or something, that he started doing the kind of like YouTube shorts in a sense, but like little 5-minute videos on certain topics. And he schedules them. Mondays are shout outs to random people, like shout outs to like certain people, like YouTube channels. And I got one. I got a random shout out from Jason. Although he did botch it he said I do autistic comedy, but no, I'm not really a comic anymore. It's more about my sports stuff on YouTube, like kind of historical. Day 2 is positives and negatives about people. I think he changes it up on Tuesday. Wednesdays are people who are shit, people that suck and all that. No, famous people who are cool. I think that's the Tuesday one. Yeah, famous people who are cool is Tuesday. Wednesday is his people who are shit. Thursday is his Mount Rushmore, which he gives his top 4 things, certain things. And Fridays are, I can't remember what his Fridays videos are, but yeah, he does these things and all that. That's kind of cool. Unfortunately, though, yesterday, Jason's dad passed away at age 70 and all that. So obviously Jason's going through a lot of trouble and all that. Like, his family's like grieving, like super grieving and all that. But all I got to say is that, I reach out, like I sometimes message Jason on Facebook and all that. And I said, oh, my sympathies to you. I know what it's like to lose a dad before his time passed. And then what I did was, if you look at my channel and you look at a video I did yesterday, it was the memorial game to Greg Lundgren. That was his dad. And I put 2 Seattle teams. I put the 83 Seattle Seahawks, the team that went into Miami, beat the Dolphins, and went to the AFC title game against the Raiders, which they lost. Was it? Yeah, it was a divisional round game. And then I put the 2013 team because that 2013-14 team won the Super Bowl against the Broncos and the Legion of Boom defense. So I thought it would be cool to put those two Seattle teams face each other at Quest Field and all that. And it was kind of cool and all that. The game went to 21-17, by the way, for the newbies. The Legion of Boom won 21-17. But yeah, Jason has commented on it, saying he liked the format. And I'm like, yeah, got to do it for him. Like, it does, like his dad's death does have a little bit of feelings towards me because, like 4 years ago, I lost my dad on Leap Day of all days, February 29th, 2020. And, it was the week after the stupid Zamboni driver beat the Leafs, and everyone was laughing at the Leafs for that. this was just before COVID really fucked things up. So the fact of the matter was that, losing a dad and all that. I know my dad was 73 and older than Jason's dad, but like it just shocks you. It's like, where do you go from here? What do you do and all that? Like, I still have chills about my dad's death and all that. There are 3 days in the calendar year that shock the crap out of me. My dad's birthday, that being February the 1st, the day he died, well, it would be March 1st, more so than ever. It would be March 1st, technically, because, he was alive on February 28th, so I can't say his death February 28th, but it was March 1st. And, of course, Father's Day always hits close to me. So, I think Jason will probably be taking that YouTube hiatus. He might not, he might. But I think he will take a hiatus because, truthfully, he's hurting inside. And I get it. I do. I seriously do. Well, regardless of that, give him 5 minutes to talk about Jason. He'll probably say it's 5 minutes too long, but no. Anywho. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention Jason is a fellow Aspie like yours truly. So, he's autistic like myself. But I'm sure he's okay. Okay, well, anyway. Who scored the first goal in Seattle Kraken history? Oh, my gosh. Was it Yordi Gord? Who scored the first goal in Climate Pledge Arena? Climate Pledge Arena. I keep thinking Climate Pledge is some kind of cleaner, like Lemon Pledge. First goal. Eberle? I know Jordan Eberle played there. What type of octopus is native and responsible for the team's name? Kraken. Besides Wayne Gretzky's number, what's the only number retired by the Kraken? One for the fans. What is the name of both brothers that were drafted by the Seattle Kraken in the expansion draft? Ah, man. The Nielsen's? I don't know. I have a funny feeling I'm going to be probably ending this stream early. Who owns the naming rights to the Climate Pledge Arena? Greenpeace? I don't know. Who was the first team captain in Kraken history? I would say Eberle. What was the name of Climate Pledge Arena before the renovation? The Key Arena, because that hosted the Seattle Supersonics in basketball when the Sonics were in Seattle for the NBA team, which did okay. 94, they were supposed to go to the NBA Finals and probably win it, but they got shocked in the first round by the Denver Nuggets. And in 96, they got to the NBA Finals, but MJ stood in their way. Anyway, what team did the Kraken beat for their first win? Colorado? And what team did they beat for their first NHL home win? I think it was Edmonton, wasn't it? I would say St. Louis. Obviously, I'm not expecting high expectations. But yeah, fate drew me to number 41. So I think I'm probably going to be done after this. All right, here we go. What are we talking? That's some famous players. Here we go. The first ever goal was Ryan Donato. The first goal at Climate Pledge Arena, Vince Dunn. What type of octopus? Kraken? Yep. They retired number 32. Oh, I thought they were retired number 1. What's the name of the players? The Flurries, Hayden and Cale Fleury. Oh boy. Naming rights? Amazon. Oh, right. First team captain is Mark Giordano. Aw. What was the name of the Climate Pledge Arena? Key Arena. Their first NHL win was against Nashville. And their first home win was against Montreal. Well, shows how much I know, which is very little. So guess what? We got a video we got a stream to end. Because guess what? I scored 2. I should have known that fate was just going to freaking get me. Oh, man. I hate that. I was so close. Yeah, shows how much I know, which is very fucking little. So, 2 out of 10. That means that we're going to be ending the stream. but not before I punish myself by forcing myself to spin in a chair. Yeah, I'm feeling a little dizzy. So I guess that's it. The Seattle Kraken. I should have known the youngest team in the NHL would screw me over and force me to end the stream. Oh well. I tried. I really tried. So I don't know if I'm going to do another one for number 375. When I hit 375, I might. I might. You know, the way I get subscribers is probably not going to, it's going to be probably a few more months, but whatever. So anyway, thanks for putting up with me for 40 minutes. I just wish it was longer, but the fact of the matter is, the rule was that, you know, if I did shitty on a certain trivia quiz, then I'm dead in the water. And that's all there's to it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.